Starting from tomorrow, weeks 3, 4, detox and keep going. Pedal to the metal. From London. Good work, man. Proud of every one of you. Here's Nora D. List. You're looking younger with... Thank you, sweetheart. I got my hair tripped, but I really love long hair. But, you know, sometimes it's just... Stew. Oh, look at that cute little fella. Dr. Morse, if you take your class, pass the test, and go out and promote eating raw eggs and drinking goat's milk and drinking fermented kefir is good for you, you will still recognize me as one of your practitioners? I'm not sure. Because, I mean, you always have that access here. But I wouldn't recommend you to anyone. Because I'm going to recommend somebody that's closer to me in what they do. Because we're so successful. Yes, we have people that have chronic problems, and yes, they have to work hard, and yes, some people take over a year, and yes. But you still see it. Look at that sweetheart walking. But with MS, you see all these, and I haven't showed you a fraction yet. Our problem is we don't have testimonials on videos. We're going to find a way. Once we get this club thing up and going, I'll feel better about putting testimonials on the internet, you know, because I just, it's so disgraceful. And sometimes you just get tired of fighting. You know, it's like, sometimes you just say, let them have it. But then I get a breath of fresh air and say, oops, that was just a temporary moment of insanity. Question about cavities. Oh, this is Iron Cobra 22. I love that drum set, man. Holy crap, I'd like to hear you knock that out. Man, I had a good drummer in my band. This guy, we were so crazy. He'd stand up on his chair and just knock those drums out. We'd play some song, because we played for sororities and fraternities. So you can imagine about 10, 11 o'clock at night, it was pretty rowdy, and we got pretty rowdy too. But I lived right next to Indiana University. And I won't go there. But I took your advice to get the lump out of my throat, got your herbs for adrenals, kidneys, lymph, and... Oh, this is the lump in the throat. Okay. I'm also on the 8th day of the Great Fast. Man, you go. Go, Iron Cobra. Get that lump out of there, man. Or it'll settle. It'll work. Someday you'll feel it start dropping, and you don't want to drop on the sphincter of the stomach, because then you'll start getting a little hiatal hernia about that. It happened to me. I was using carrot juice. I was young, you know, and I just didn't have it all. I wasn't, you know. My problem is that I've just discovered 2 cavities. Well, you know what? I mean, this is acids. This is acids. This is all acid. So, yeah, you're going to see some chopping down a little bit, man. But if you do clean that up, you want to use the composite fillings if you want. Some of you are bold enough to see if the body can get rid of them. I've seen your other video about cavities and how it is related to the lymph system. Absolutely. What I'm confused about is that I have been eating very bad toxic junk food about 12 years and haven't had any cavities all these years. Well, they've been working. They've been slowly building up, and suddenly you're aware of them. The raw foods didn't give you a cavity, man. That's ridiculous. 12 years and haven't had any cavities all these, but now I have been on raw food and vegetables for the past 2 months and just started the Great Fast, and now I have 2 cavities. What do you recommend I do to get rid of these cavities? I'd do some mouthwash with the Heal All tea and just hold it in my mouth. Just hold it and then spit it out and get another drink. Sit there, watch TV or something, and you know, and hold that and let that clean and pull on that lymph system in your mouth. You got to realize when you eat junk, a lot of people don't feel it. And this is some of the problems that I see with that. You'll go along and people go along and year after year, no problem, and then wham! Well, nothing wrong with me. I've been doing good. I mean, I've never had any problems. This is the illusion that most people live under. Is they can eat this way and no problems. I feel good. Nothing's going to happen. That's the versatility. That's the That's the incredibleness, if you will, of the human body. Can take a licking and keep on ticking. Eventually, something will raise its ugly little head. After a certain thing, you can go for years and never feel something, and suddenly you're diagnosed with cancer. You ever see that? He was doing good, and suddenly he's got cancer all through him. He wasn't doing good, was he? He thought he was. That's the problem we're facing, is the human body is resilient to a point. Thank God, though, because that helps us get people back. I had a friend who was a total fruitarian growing enamel back. I told you about him earlier, where he kept kicking out his fillings, and I told him that I thought he was growing his enamel back, and he was telling that to the dentist, and the dentist said he was full of crap, and the fourth filling he kicked out, the dentist didn't think he was full of crap anymore. So, I don't know. Europe has been doing work right over there with rebuilding enamel and stuff, so I don't know. But I would definitely make sure my parathyroid was up. I'm moving my lymph system. That lymph just shows you how bad you are there, that these are acids chewing on you, man. And you really just get that. I would use baking soda toothpaste. You know, really bring alkaline chemistry in there for sure. I thought fruit is alkaline inside the body, but acid outside the body, meaning that it can be detrimental to teeth. Well, I mean, there's so much wrapped around that. I mean, you can argue the point that the most fruit are a little on the acidic side because we pump the trees full of nitrogen and we pick them unripe. Yeah, you can argue some of these things for sure. But I never experienced any tooth problems with raw especially, but definitely with fruit. I've never seen that. And a friend of mine that went fruitarian, he started rebuilding his enamel on that. I check my parathyroid, keep moving my lymph out, use the Heal-All tea to clean your mouth and pull on that lymph system in your gums and clean that all up. I've also heard Doug Graham say that 100% fruit diet is very bad for teeth. I've heard that. I've heard Doug Graham say that as well. But in a detoxification scenario, I just don't see that. But there's been a lot of people live fruitarian for years that have full teeth, so I don't know. I think everything is. And remember this, you know, your weaknesses are exposed during detox, and this is another issue that you'll see, that fruit. We mistake the power that fruit has to move energy and to be energy and to move lymph. We mistaken some of those symptoms for bad fruit. Powerful fruit, not bad fruit. But I'll agree with Brandon with this. We have a hard time getting good fruit. Enough said. Use watermelons and stuff like that. You can pop up on green drinks. You can pop down a good green drink a day or something. I have no problems with that. We're just here trying to move lymph. But I have no problem with a good green drink, particularly if it's high in parsley, dandelion greens. Put a little beet in there. Beet in there is real powerful on the liver and kidneys. So beet, parsley, and dandelion green should always, when you can get dandelion green, should always be part of a mixture of greens. Whether you use kale or whether you use spinach, who cares? Throw a little seaweed in there. Another thing you might use for these teeth is start using a kelp supplement. And a kelp supplement, nothing, no iodine added, just pure kelp, Norwegian kelp or whatever, but get pure kelp. Do 2 capsules 3 times a day for a couple of months. Pick up your parathyroid, start the Calma Plus, and have your teeth rebuild that. Use the Heal-All tea to clean and see where you go there. Hey, Bev, I am wondering why Doug Graham from the 80-10-10 diet doesn't look so hot. Interesting, huh? He is half bald, just plain doesn't look good. Is he not absorbing food properly? That's possible. You know, this is the thing, is that I'm teaching you, and I love what you just said, Bev. I'm teaching you guys, and I'm going to get more involved with that, teaching you how to identify problems. When you see someone thin, what are you looking at? Just what you said, babe. You're looking at malabsorption or you're looking at pancreatic. Because in reality, once we get around these genetics and we get around the corner, how many of you just made a comment that you gained weight eating raw foods? You're starting to see some of you do that. This concept that you're going to be emaciated and thin eating fruit is bullcrap. yeah, on a process of getting healthy, real possible with a malabsorber, if you're not going to look too good. Another one that I always thought was a good malabsorber is the survival to the 21st century man. That's right, Victor. I always thought he looked very gaunt, malabsorbed, real low parathyroid, and this is what I want to teach you, how to identify problems so you know what you can do on the side to help them a little more. Wrinkles, prolapsus, gaunt, definitely parathyroid, connective tissue weakness, malabsorption. Good catch, Bev. You guys are pretty good. Also, Gabriel Cousins. He is too skinny, and I believe he dyes his hair. Ooh. Well, Gabriel Cousins. Well, I'll say with myself, I could sure make myself look a lot better too, guys. You know, it's been a rough road, and I'm sure it's been a rough road for a lot of you guys, so I'm not just pointing a finger to me, but just in my own world, you know, taking on some of these things. Just trying to teach people about health, you wonder whether they're going to come arrest you. Something about truth. They're always, and I've lived with this for 40 years. The fear of throwing in jail for being truthful, being honest. Pretty sick. Don't send me back down here. Now, you look good even though you ate some cooked foods. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I could drop 50 pounds in a heartbeat and be happy about it. And I'm working on it. I'm getting better and better, and you guys are helping me too. It's just, I mean, I'm busy at every end of my body. That's excuses. Cooked food and are paying it for in the graying and thinning of it. Yeah, I know it. Well, like I said, when my hair's turned a little back since and I'm not using the upper circ. I need to start sucking down that upper circ. But my hair was as white as the walls in this office here when I poisoned myself with quinine. I mean, my hair went white, but it was a kick to my body. I tell you, I suppose arsenic would probably have a similar kick, but man, quinine is a son of a gun. I highly recommend nobody play with herbs that have high in quinine, and I've always thought that John's son out there needs to get that out of their book on the Peruvian bark. You need to remove Peruvian bark out of your book because it isn't even worth people playing with it. A very dangerous herb, that's all I can tell you. I tried it with people on low dosages even. They still get a little tightness and short of breath. No way. Bad herb. Some herbs are very powerful. It's where we get our quinine, but not a good idea to play with that herb. So these two speak that all raw food diet is no good to the long term. I disagree with that. I think that if you can work yourself and keep working yourself, that you will be able to sustain on an all raw food diet. There's nothing healthy about cooked food, but it is used as a form of balance. But you're right, there's nothing healthy at all about dead tissue, cooked foods. There's just nothing healthy about it at all. But it is a very energetic, a very detoxifying experience. You make it through all that, you're good if you can balance out there.